Hi, and welcome to my channel. You ever just see like the last people you would ever expect to get into drama start a beef with each other? That's basically what happened the other day when Jacksepticeye called out mrbeast for, quote, ruining YouTube. And like, it was a whole thing. It was very short-lived though. They did squash the beef afterwards. But I'm still going to talk about it because I think very interesting points were brought up. Definitely a lot of things there that I do not personally agree with, but they still relate to sort of me, my outlook on YouTube, why I started this channel that you're watching right now. Yes, hello, this is a new channel. And yeah, overall, I just think there's a lot there that I am very excited to get into. And if you do have questions about why this is on a completely new channel, separate from my main channel, those questions will also be answered in this video as well, so just hold on tight. So it all started with this snippet of a video that Jack was in where he's basically hooked up to this lie detector test and he's answering all of these questions, and mrbeast gets brought up as a topic. So let's just see how it goes.
Now Jack, a completely unrelated question. Do you like mrbeast? No.
When this first happened, I actually thought to myself, like, this is a bit. This has to be planned between the creators because honestly, like, nobody really dislikes mrbeast. I mean, you can. There are people who dislike him, to be sure. But when you really think about the position he occupies on YouTube, he doesn't really hurt anybody. He gives away a lot of money. It's great. It's fantastic. He's not encouraging his very young viewers to do awful things. I know the bar is pretty low, but he does sort of surpass it. So I was thinking this was some sort of joke.
Jack.
But as you can see, the lie detector test and Jack himself both confirmed, like, nah, I guess there's some sort of dislike going on here. So the reasoning behind why Jack does not like mrbeast, or did not, like I said, they squashed the beef afterwards, honestly threw me for a loop.
Do you think mrbeast ruined YouTube? Yes. Now, in all honesty, Jack, why? Because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun.
So the argument here is that YouTube became more about views, money, and having fun because of mrbeast. And there's just so many levels on which this doesn't really make any sense. Number one, the reason YouTube became about those things, it's the algorithm. It's the algorithm, point blank period, end of discussion. Now, obviously, the algorithm is influenced by the kind of things that work on YouTube, but mrbeast didn't necessarily manipulate the algorithm so that only content produced in his style gets views. If he did, I guess you could say he ruined YouTube. But no, what the algorithm promotes very heavily is content that a lot of people click on very quickly. So mrbeast is really good at coming up with these video concepts that I think are just generally interesting to the widest possible range of people. Like, last person to leave the circle gets a free Lamborghini. I would click on that. I want to see somebody get a free Lamborghini. I know not everyone watching this video may have experience with YouTube's algorithm, so I will just go ahead and break it down for you. When you open the dashboard where you can see all of your videos, YouTube does this really aggravating thing where it compares your last video to all 9 videos that came before it. So you really don't have a choice but to constantly be thinking about views, money, and attention. All of these things are highlighted in either red or green. So if your channel's not doing as well as it used to, everything is just red and it seems very alarming and there's lots of numbers and they're not good. And when your channel's doing well, there's lots of green. And so it gives you that sort of dopamine rush. And so when I think about why YouTube for me has become something where I do have to factor views, popularity, and money into my content strategy, it's definitely not because mrbeast exists. It's because the algorithm is so aggressive at pitting creators against themselves, not even against each other. Like, the YouTube algorithm doesn't compare me to Danny Gonzalez, for example. And that's good. I mean, we're both commentary YouTubers, but we're doing different things. And I wouldn't want to constantly be compared to Danny. However, it does compare me to myself, and that can get sort of overwhelming sometimes. I personally understand Jack's frustration because YouTube is more about views, money, and popularity now. But I really, truly fail to see how this is mrbeast's fault just because his style of content happens to be very popular right now. But anyway, as much as there is there, the video continues and I get progressively more confused as it goes on.
You just told me you had fun playing Squid Games?
You think he had fun riding on yachts?
If he
building
had-
wells in Africa? I don't know.
If he had fun doing those videos, they'd be longer. We'd see the fun.
Ooh.
Okay, so this argument that Mr. Beast's videos are short, therefore he can't possibly be having fun. What does that mean exactly? Like, that one was where I was just like, okay, do you just have a personal beef with him? Do you recognize that this is not a valid reason for disliking someone, to be honest? Like, I have no idea what that means. I've uploaded content over the years of varying lengths. I've put up my fair share of 10-minute videos. I've put up my fair share of hour-long videos. And the length kind of doesn't matter at all, or rather there's no correlation between the length and how much fun I'm having. I also feel like this is kind of silly because we're comparing two different styles of content here. Like, Mr. Beast's videos are very action-y vlog type things, where if this was going on for 20 minutes, you might have to ask yourself, why? Like, does it really take 20 minutes to show the things that he shows? If you watch any of his videos, he really gets in there, does what the title says, and gets out. Whereas Jacksepticeye's content is a lot more gaming focused. Obviously, it takes longer than 20 minutes to play a game. Well, a good one anyway. So, like, this is very apples and oranges to me, and I truly fail to understand where Jack was coming from. And I'm trying. I like Jacksepticeye a lot. You know, interestingly, he was one of the reasons I got into YouTube. It wasn't Mr. Beast, because I'm not 12. Jack, Mark, and for better or for worse, PewDiePie at the time were definitely the faces of YouTube back when YouTube started to interest me. So, like, I guess my appreciation for Jacksepticeye as a content creator is why I'm hesitant to say he's just being a hater. But man, I hate to say it, this is kind of just hater energy. It's just hater energy. Having hater energy doesn't make you a hater per se. I have hater energy towards certain things. Trust me. I think right now my hater energy is largely directed towards Marvel movies because there are too many. Like, it's not even a problem with the movies or the fans or the people in the movies. There are too many of these darn movies and TV shows for me to keep up with. I don't like it anymore. I don't even have a valid reason. You know, too much content is not really a reason to dislike something, but I don't care. I'm a hater. So that's sort of the vibe that I'm picking up here. This is where I need you in the comments to just let me know. Like, maybe you see some alternate interpretation of what Jack was saying here that I missed, but I'm just going to leave it at I have no idea what he was talking about.
Who's the YouTuber you hate the most? I don't know. There's a lot of groomers and pedophiles on our platform.
Well, that's unfortunately true. Anyways, very strange video, very strange clip. I dare say somewhat out of character, at least from my perception of Jacksepticeye, but you know, it's a vibe. Nevertheless, we thrive. So initially, Mr. Beast actually responded to this saying, so I ruined YouTube because I didn't buy a mansion and sports cars and instead invested my money into making content focused on doing good and inspiring kids to help people. I do sort of agree here that, like, when I think annoying YouTuber who ruined YouTube and bought a mansion and sports cars and all of that, my mind instantly goes to the Paul brothers. And I actually think this brings up a larger point of there are so many people who I would consider to have ruined YouTube, right? Jay Station, the Paul brothers, just anybody who uploads videos targeted towards children and a child audience in which they are doing things that are not good, like harassing people and calling them pranks or running scam giveaways or just doing all of these ridiculous things. They ruined YouTube. They have planted in people's heads that, like, hey, you can totally just harass people or be disrespectful towards others and gain an audience, and it's awesome because you will become rich. I think that there are definitely a lot of kids with that perception, and in that sort of framing, I could totally see YouTube having been ruined. But like, for me, Mr. Beast isn't even on the list of people I would consider to have ruined YouTube in that way. Anyway, he says, if he had fun, the videos would be longer. What does that even mean? LOL. You think I'd give up every hour of my life for 14 years if I didn't have fun? Skull emoji. Honestly, same. I've already waffled on about this one too much because I don't know what he meant there, and I have to accept the fact that I probably never will. And then lastly, he says, this clip is insanely disrespectful in my opinion. And obviously there is so much I could say about his content. Oh, Is that like a mini burn right there? But I'll just take the punches and be the bigger man. Sigh. We get our classic Elon Musk sigh. I'm sorry. When people type sigh on the internet, it's so very funny to me. But yeah, I don't know if I was getting insane disrespect energy, but obviously I'm not going to tell Mr. Beast how to feel about somebody calling him out online. If you felt insanely disrespected, hey, that happened. It's very unfortunate because I feel like Jacksepticeye doesn't even put out content intended to be disrespectful towards anybody, but you know, it's a vibe. Now, this was pretty much where it wrapped up at the time, right? Like this initial video was posted on the 2nd. The next day, Mr. Beast chimed in because the video was picking up some steam. But as I mentioned before, sometime after that, he came back and he said, we messaged, we're Gucci now, you know, smiling with the 3 hearts. And Jack came back with the cowboy emoji and a thumbs up. So I have no idea what took place in these messages. I don't really care because this doesn't matter very much, but there you have it. Don't let this be a video where I'm like, oh my God, top 10 YouTubers who secretly hate each other. It seems like it might have been a misunderstanding. I do kind of wish Jack would clarify what he meant, but obviously he did so to the person he was talking about, so nobody's really owed anything. I'm just still very confused. So yeah, that was the beef. As you can see, it wasn't very beefy at all. It was very inconsequential and it seems to have been completely squashed. So it doesn't matter at all. Which leads me to the question of why did I make this video and why did I put it on an entirely different channel? Well, I kind of want to talk about things that don't matter at all, but they still matter to me. I am interested in things that I think are not always 100% algorithm worthy. It's more so things that I want to say things about, and I think that there could be interesting conversations going on in the comments. I'm pretty good at generating comments, and I want to have these conversations, but my main channel isn't really the place for them. I really wanted somewhere where I could just talk. Honestly, I understand where Jack was coming from in his video. I wouldn't say that YouTube has been ruined. I am a good YouTuber. Well, I mean, that's, I guess, arguable, but I make good content. I do my best to do so. But I am also a business person. Everybody on YouTube that you watch consistently is a business person. You have to be. If you have sponsorships, you're running a business. And so I wouldn't trade that for anything. I'm very proud of the way that I run my main channel. I'm very proud of the quality of content that I've been uploading, especially since I've come back. But that actually can hold me back in some ways. Because say I want to talk about something that doesn't really matter that much, or say I want to talk about something that is honestly just not that deep. I know at this point people sort of expect more in-depth discussion on my other channel, and that's because that's what I like doing. I like providing that. But I just really think if you enjoy hearing me talk about just things, this might be, you know, a nice alternative channel. The videos here are going to be shorter as well. I have like some things in my head that I really want to stick to. I'm not really planning on uploading highly edited content. You may see me cut out a pause here or, you know, insert an image here, but for the most part, I'm talking to my iPhone. I'm talking to my iPhone, which is a stand-in for you. It will be you once this video goes up. So just talk back to me in the comments. Like, this is what this is about for me. I already have a successful YouTube channel. I guess this is just turning into me bragging. I'm already very, you know, out there on YouTube. So maybe I can bring YouTube a little more in here for me. And hopefully that's something that you're interested in watching as well. I'm not scripting any of this content. I'm just saying the words as they pop into my head. I'm not planning on doing any sponsorships on this channel. I'm not saying I'll never do a sponsorship. I mean, if someone wants to pay me, who am I to turn down the sponsorship? But no, like, that's not really the goal of this channel is what I'm getting at. And above all, I'm not even going to check my analytics on this channel. Like, I'm probably going to backslide on that because it's really hard not to check your analytics. But literally, I'm just going to like snap a rubber band on my wrist every time I do it. This channel for me is not about analytics. I have enough analytics to worry about, trust me. This channel for me is about me and for you. So I don't know. Overall, I just think it's going to be really cool. There's no schedule. There's no nothing. If I feel like posting a video, there will be a video. If I feel like disappearing for 3 months or even just never uploading again, hey, that's on me. It's my channel, you know? I was very intentional with the way I named this channel. I named it D'Angelo because I feel like at this point, D'Angelo Wallace sort of means something, if you will. It's a kind of video. I know I don't want to hype myself up too much, but like, you know what a D'Angelo Wallace video is, right? You understand what I'm going to get into. But I feel like on this channel, I really don't have to worry about that. Because like my friends and the people I talk to in real life, they're not calling me D'Angelo Wallace. I am just D'Angelo. I'm just this. I'm just what you're getting right now. So yeah, again, if that interests you, you already know the deal, the subscription and the blah, 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 blah. I haven't come up with an outro for this channel yet, and I don't even know if I will. Maybe I'll just come up with a new outro every single video, but then that wouldn't actually be recognizable as an outro, would it? Maybe I'll be forever outroless, or maybe I'll come up with something more clever. God only knows. Actually, God doesn't know. Nobody knows at this point. Thanks for watching.